Thank you very much, Senator Sanders. First of all, let me just say that Senator Sanders gave you a pretty comprehensive overview of exactly what the state of affairs are today as it relates to health care, or the lack of health care throughout especially impoverished areas of our great country. And so I will not belabor all that he said, but let me just give you a little bit of history. This is a program that really got started when two graduates of Tufts Medical School back in 1965 opened a clinic over at Columbia Point in Boston, a clinic which caught the attention of Senator Ted Kennedy. And as a result, in 1966, Senator Kennedy secured funding under the old Economic Opportunity Act to establish the nation's first comprehensive health center in Boston. Now, I came to this movement about 2 years later. And many of you may recall that Senator Fritz Hollins did a tour, a hunger tour, in the low country of South Carolina. I happened to have accompanied him on his first tour in 1968. And then in 1971, when John West was inaugurated the governor of South Carolina, I took him on a tour. Now, Senator Hollins' tour was in Charleston inner city before he went down to Beaufort with a Dr. Gatch, which led to his book, The Case Against Hunger. But in 1971, when John West was inaugurated governor of South Carolina, he named me to his staff, and I took him throughout Johns Island and parts of Marlborough County that's in the 5th Congressional District. These two big efforts led to Senator Hollins becoming a champion of community health centers. And Franklin Federer in Charleston was born. Beaufort Jasper Comprehensive Health Care down in the low country of South Carolina was born. We now have health care centers throughout South Carolina as a result of this. What do these centers do? These centers have become pillars in their communities. These centers are in communities where people are sometimes 50 or 60 miles away from an emergency room. But these centers, when funded and operated, provide the kind of care, low-cost care. All of us know the most expensive health care that you can get will be in an emergency room. And so these centers are there for that purpose. If we were to go back to the campaign of last year, you may recall all of the major candidates, Senator Edwards, Senator Clinton, Senator Obama, Senator McCain, they all had health care plans. And so much of the debate was not about what they did, but how many people would be missed, even if their plans were put into place. Well, now, we have already reauthorized S-CHIP to cover 11 million children, and we know that there's still about 3 million children not covered when we cover those 11 million. Now, we know from all those discussions that a certain number, some include as much as 2 million people, will fall through the cracks even with any one of those plans. The question then becomes, what happened to those people? Senator Sanders and Senator Cardin, I believe, that community health centers would be a safety net that would catch all of these people if they were to fall through any crack that may exist in these other programs. And now, I want to share with you two experiences that really drove home this point to me. I became very, very interested in this, as I told you, way back in 1960, but since being here in the Congress, I received a call one day from a facility that wanted me to come by and see what they were doing. And I went by, it wasn't too far from my home, and I went by to visit with them. They took me into a room and they showed me this hookup that they had with Buford Jasper Comprehensive Healthcare Center, 136 miles away, down near Hilton Head, South Carolina. We were in Columbia. And they showed me how a person, and they demonstrated, sitting in that healthcare center down in Buford Jasper, put his eyes to this little machine, and I stood there with the doctor as all of that was transmitted to Columbia, and he showed me that this person was in fact diabetic, and he did not even know it. Health information technology that we are providing for a significant plus up in this recovery plan, and that will be a significant part of what we will do with this legislation if it were to become law. I think will not just save lives, but it will improve the quality of life, which is a segue into my second little story. When I got ready to leave from this facility, I saw something that looked familiar to me, and I asked the doctor about it. He said, well, your wife is one of our patients. And I never knew it. My wife is a 4-shot-a-day diabetic who had 5 vessel bypass surgery about 5 or 6 years ago. The reason I bring this out is because when she started having pain in her legs, we didn't dismiss it as arthritis. We knew what the early signs of diabetes were. Her father was a double amputee before he passed. And so we immediately went down to check outside, and sure enough, she was diabetic. And that led to the 4 shots a day. Now, I point this out because South Carolina, my home state, leads the nation in amputations because of the late detection of diabetes. And so these community health centers will be lifesavers. They will save not just lives, but they will save untold costs when people get treated early and are able to be treated for their ailments and will not become tremendous expenses on the healthcare system. And so I'm pleased to join with these 2 gentlemen today with this legislation, because I think that this is the next step to comprehensive and universal health care for all of our citizens. Thank you, and I'll yield to Ben Cardin.